All right, so we should be live. Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, oh, weird looking with my hair, huh?
So hey guys, my name is Graham
All
from
right, so
Type
we should
What?
be live.
Hold
And
on.
there's an echo in the
Hello,
room.
hello.
All right, so we should. My name is Graham from Type What? I'm on a mission to find a cure for Type 1 diabetes that is repeatable, so it is no longer a life sentence. And I'm joined by my flickering guest and wife, Delia. Forward, please. And this is a daily log. So this is a little bit normal, nerdy spreadsheet stuff where I track all of my experiments. But it is also a reveal of the very first test results after doing the PKD diet. And my journey for the PKD diet is I did my research, being on the opposite diet, which is the low fat, plant based diet, whole food plant based diet. Did lots of research and then decided to go jump into this PKD diet. And that was 4 months ago now. I totally messed it up in the beginning. I was not eating the right amount of food or organ meats. I was basically just doing carnivore. So the first month, I would say 4 to 6 weeks, I was doing just straight carnivore. So I was having steaks for 3 meals a day. And then I finally did my paleo medicina consult and got 400 grams of food a day. Whoa, I was way off, and then I had to do liver, this amount of liver and this and that. But and so that was the second phase of this PKD diet, which I did a lot better, but still wasn't quite right. I wasn't doing the right amount. For some reason in my head, I had the numbers wrong for the amount of liver. So I was only eating half as much as I should have been eating. The liver has all of your vitamins and minerals, or most of them. And the other part of your vitamins and minerals come from your bone marrow and or brains. So I had both of those key vitamins and mineral numbers wrong. So I still wasn't doing it right for the next month. Okay, so and then this final month, I actually have been doing it absolutely right by the book, very diligent on all my things. And so these test results are going to show us the through all of that what the numbers are. Okay, so that's what the inputs to my body, specifically from a diet perspective, have been. All right. All right. Let's get you in frame a little better here.
Oh, hey.
All right.
So this is like one of my favorite things, going over his lab work, to see like there's all these new little clues and puzzle pieces. So like I'm smiling, like this is
So
fun.
be sure you don't go back and flicker out, because I peaked already. I peaked. I opened my presents early, but we need to make sure we get your reactions on these things too.
Oh, okay.
So make sure
Let me lean in close. See,
All
these
right.
whole green screen things don't work with curly hair.
It looks fine. It looks fine. Okay, so you know what? Actually, we're going to share the screen. So
Oh, good. All right. Well, then how are they going to see my face?
Well, we'll have to take a mental snapshot right now.
Okay. Or, okay.
Okay. There's us in the past. And here's what we're going to look at. I'm not going to keep Dahlia. Her time is very valuable for all the spreadsheet stuff. We'll do that at the end.
And I got to keep an eye on the kiddos.
But look at this, guys. We have a lot of test results, all the ones that say the October 19th. So our last results were in June. And what's really cool that City of Hope does is they post them up here, and then they give you the historical view. So you can see the past results, and they even chart some of them out for you. So it's really easy to see. So some of these are brand new. So some of these we haven't done through City of Hope before, because these are specific paleo medicina lab requests. So if there's a chart that just has one dot, that's what that is, okay? And I haven't memorized which one is which, so we'll just go through them, okay? So CBC, not to be confused with CBD.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Complete blood count, CBC. Okay, it says abnormal, automated differential, abnormal, final result.
So this one says no results. I don't know what happened here.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a couple that have that. So very exciting out of the gate.
Yeah,
right?
No data whatsoever. All right.
So this is the comprehensive metabolic panel. Okay. So this has the values, the label, and then the range on the right. So you want to be in range generally. All right. So proteins, total proteins a little high, a little out of range high. Albumin level a little bit high. Calcium
Looks good.
in range. Bilirubin
Yeah.
in range. Alkaline phosphate
In range.
phosphatase in range. SGPT in range, a little bit low. SGOT in range. Sodium level
Low? How is that even possible?
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. So what's really funny is I've been eating so much salt.
Crazy.
So much salt. And they say eat salt to taste, eat salt to taste. And I was like, are you sure? Because I feel like I need a lot of salt. But now we know why. My body is needing the salt. So I thought that was that surprised me a lot.
Yeah.
That surprised me.
Well, and we've known in the past that the mineral balance at times had been off. So I like that the calcium's in range and that the salt is pretty much in range. It's just like 1-2 points lower, which as long as it's on like touching the right number, that I have comfort in that, knowing that it's probably going to be normal by the next round.
Yeah. So magnesium is in a different result. But we have our sodium and our potassium. So
yeah, look at all that stuff's good because in the past it's been off, so that's wonderful.
I mean,
not recently, but I remember once we first started this journey, that was like one of the things.
Chloride's a little low.
Like 4 years ago when we started. So
chloride's a little low. Carbon dioxide, I don't remember doing that before, but that's in range. Glucose is 67. It's not in range.
Low.
Not of range. And just so you know, I'm on this diet. It is I'm supposed to be under 80. So this is right for the diet, and the diet's very special, right? So their range is a little bit not matching what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The blood urea nitrogen level is in range. The creatine level is in range. The EGFR, which
except African American, that's
so yeah, weird. I don't know. I'm in range on both of them. So and then
that's our 2-year-old. We didn't lock you.
Come here, bud. We didn't lock you out. Close the door for the moscas. You gotta close the door, man. Close the door.
Come sit down.
Close the door. We don't want the flies to get in. Don't want the moscas in. Come on. All right. So then the anion gap is a little bit out of range, a little bit high.
Okay.
The albumin globulin is in range. So that's that.
Now, so the anion gap is the difference between the number of cations versus anions. Dude, you need to wear your anion shield. We have a little pen that emits anions.
Okay, well, I have the thing on my phone.
But no, that's just to shield the phone, but we want the pen because that puts it in your body or whatever.
All right. Okay.
Interesting.
So, anything else that stands out for you on this? So the standouts that I noticed were the sodium. Pretty much that's about it.
So it said it was high again. Let me look at that.
Sodium was a little bit low. Oh, anion is a little bit high.
Cool.
All right. Anything else on this before we go to the graphs?
No.
Okay. Check out the graphs. So they have the past results here, which is cool, but they're just tables, which I think it's just easier to see it in the charts. So they usually have the low, these dotted lines with the low and the high range. of like the right range to be in. And then the chart is the actual numbers for my numbers.
Oh, so it's showing the past ones.
Yeah, these are all the
Cool.
past numbers.
Okay,
So you can
let's see.
see. So also to note when you see these graphs is the last time I did my blood work was on the 5th day of a 5-day water fast.
Oh yeah.
So that was the bridge between the carb metabolism and the fat metabolism. So when you look at these numbers, just know I was fasting with only water for 5 days. So that might have skewed those numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm also in like a fast mimicking diet right now. So they might look alike, they might not. Just keep that in mind. So this is the albumin. So some of them just look like there's just nothing changing. Alkaline phosphate is straight up. ALT is a little bit lower, but it's still in range. The anion gap. So this is interesting. So fasting on water fast,
super high,
and stayed high on the fast mimicking diet. But before that, in December, I was in range on the carb diet. AST, pretty flat.
and those foot soles that you have.
Bilirubin is flat. Blood urea is flat.
So are these the range lines?
Yeah, range lines.
Normal, high, normal, low. Oh, okay, so it's within. Okay, I see how it's working now. All right.
Flat. So this one's interesting because
calcium dropped.
On the water fast, it was low.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Well, look, your calcium's been in range this whole time then, so that's good.
Yeah. You know, we did all kinds of supplements and stuff too, right?
Yeah. So I think it was only the first year where we saw it was off. And we didn't have all this data with.
Now this is interesting. So the chloride level is way below.
Carbon dioxide level blood.
Yeah.
Well, don't you want it oxygenated more though? Like I don't know. Understand why carbon dioxide.
Chloride. No, carbon dioxide is this one.
Oh, I'm looking at, okay. Oh, it's on the bottom. Okay, see, I'm getting it mixed up. All right.
Yeah, so during the water fast and the fast mimicking diet, the PKD, we're down here. We're out of range low, real significantly.
Yeah.
But chloride, that's interesting.
So what was it called? Chloride level blood.
Flat for creatine, low for glucose, but yeah, that's just glucose.
Okay.
Potassium's flat pretty much. What do you got here? What does Dr. Google say?
Oh, hold on. Let me see. What does the chloride level?
And it's the protein, so this is different too. This is abnormal.
So kidneys play an important role in the regulation of chloride in your body. So an imbalance in this electrolyte. Oh, so it's an electrolyte, maybe related to a problem with these organs. So kidney. And what was the other one? Your kidneys playing one. All right, kidney.
So electrolytes. Okay, interesting. Chloride. So that's probably just related to being on a fast.
Yeah.
It might be related specifically to a carb-based diet.
Yeah.
So this is the other interesting thing. Look, so these last two, remember? They're a lot higher than they've normally been. This is the protein. Yeah.
On a fast, your protein was higher.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
I know. Sodium. So on the water fast, way lower.
Huh.
And this is a little bit lower. Okay.
So maybe you just flush some out and now it's coming back up.
Well, I think I use it a lot more. I think I'm using it more. Okay, so that's that.
Cool.
And now one of our favorites.
C-peptide. That is the #1 indicator of beta cell function in your pancreas that we can measure in lab work.
All right, so 0.5.
Okay.
So just out of range.
Yeah. Isn't that what it was last time?
Well, let's find out.
Oh, all right. Oh, hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. So on fasting, it was a little bit lower.
But I
And
think
then on
I started
PKD.
needing a little bit more insulin during this time.
Okay.
So I think I burned through stuff. And so the fasting was not it wasn't from fasting, it's from the previous few months.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yeah. So the recovery to me says a lot. So 4 months, I went from
So it was 0.2 to
it was
0.4
0.4 here, and then it was 0.2. Now it's back up to 5, which is where we were
in March.
like over a year ago.
And it went up in,
And
that
then went to
was
0.9.
yeah, so it's increased twice. So that was back in
times.
May. Oh yeah, 3 times.
Well, this is just barely a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts, but 3/10 of a point is pretty significant.
Oh yeah.
And this was 3/10 of a point also.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
So beta cells are regenerating.
Yeah.
Yes. Take a screenshot.
Well, plenty of time to go through.
All right.
Okay, now the A1C I thought was higher than it would be.
Oh yeah.
But it does make sense because when I was doing carnivore, my blood glucose was still around 100.
Yeah.
So this is actually, and that makes sense. And even on the second stage of not doing PKD quite right, it was still around 90 to 100 or to 110. It's right in that range. So this does make a lot of sense when you think about it. It says it should be the last 3 months this is reflective of. So yeah, 5.8, which is obviously, it's a great A1C. It's a great A1C for a diabetic. It's almost normal, right?
So let's see the graph. Let's see
that. Yeah. So look at this. So this is what I'm saying. Even fasting here, my average A1C, my A1C was 171.
No.
No.
That was the average glucose. Oh, so it's just showing the average glucose number. So what was your average glucose number?
Oh, this is it here.
Oh.
So I went from a 7.6. That's what I'm saying with the other one.
So here, yeah, what's interesting is what happened from here. So this is 5.4, and then whatever happened in January, it increased significantly, which is
well, I was experimenting with different diets.
Okay, yeah.
We did the Daniel challenge, which was heavier on the carbs.
When we started doing more fat, right?
We were experimenting with the keto, vegan keto.
Yeah.
And so we're actually experimenting with it here. Between these two, we were experimenting with it. And then we went off of it. I don't know, we were going back and forth on a few things.
Yeah.
And so it was real light in here. It was a lot heavier here. And so the vegan keto kind of shot things up. And going between vegan keto and then the pure carb stuff didn't give my body enough time to clear out all the fat.
Yeah.
So it went real high. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like to go from 7.6 down to 5.8 is really good. What's going on over there?
It's my mom. So.
All right. So B12, what do you think? Folate, what do you think?
Should be in range, right? Was it in range last time? Whoa.
We are high on B12.
Interesting.
Just a little bit.
And
we are in range on folate because it's just greater
anything greater than. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oops. Oh, let's do our graph. Sorry.
Yeah, the graphs.
So 1 dot for the folate. And then this is our B12. We're tracking the B12, I think, because I was doing the vegan diet stuff. And so we were in range here. We didn't take it in June for some reason.
Well, it looks pretty flat.
Yeah, but we were above it, so we were good.
And we asked for the folate because I remember back in the day he did have low folate.
Okay, uric acid level in range. 1 dot.
All right, good to know.
So that's probably a PKD one.
Well, I think because you were fasting last time and you were more acidic, I think, and so maybe that's why she added that one in.
Maybe. All right, so magnesium. Magnesium's in range. So that's the other electrolyte that we wanted to look at. And it's just chilling.
Mhm.
Okay, lipid panel. What do you think?
Oh, the fats. This will be
The
interesting because all he's eating is fat.
Drop a little science on them about fats.
Oh, okay. Well, there's this guy named Philip Randall, and back in the 1960s, I believe, he demonstrated that fats and glucose, like carbs, are meant to be mutually exclusive fuels for the body. And so whenever they are paired together in diet, they compete for entry into the cells. And so if they're competing, they hinder each other's absorption and efficiency to be processed within the body. So what happens is when you think of back in the day, how we would have been getting our food, during times of abundant, where the weather is good, there's rains, there's fruit, there's harvest, the majority of people were able to eat a lot of carbs and very easily. Therefore, they didn't have to rely on risking themselves in the jungle and hunting or whatever. So they went for the easy, low-hanging fruit, and they would eat mostly carbs and didn't have much fat in the diet. Then during times of famine, when there's drought, there's, frost, whatever it is, you can't grow plants and carbs. Therefore, people would, one, have to fast a lot, and in between those meals have to go for scavenging, hunting, getting bones and, fats. And that would be the only thing that they would have to fuel their bodies on. And so they were just in fat mode. And so what we've seen is that in Graham's body, that rings true. When he was like 100% whole food plant-based in that early days, that's what helped halt the process and halt that destruction that was happening with his beta cells. And then we started adding more fat in between because we were starting to research the keto stuff and we didn't know about this exclusivity of the fuels. And so that's what started to get his numbers to increase and not go in the way that we wanted it to go. And then as we're seeing, once we eliminated, if we were going to have fat, we had to eliminate all the other plant sources. And then that worked. So it's either all in on the carbs and the whole food plant carbs, low fat, or all in on the fats. And your body's meant to do one or the other, not both. And that's the problem with modern diet, especially Western American diet. They just put it all together and think it's healthy. Even, in the normal keto space, like they still allow too many carbs and too much protein. And that really hinders. Like Graham, when he was doing thought he was doing the paleo PKD right, like he had slightly too much portion of meat and that threw his protein off, and his body, which wants carbs, it prefers carbs, took that protein and turned it into glucose and threw his ketosis off.
And that's why my A1C was higher.
Yeah.
Because my blood glucose was around 100 during that time, during that second phase of trying PKD.
So yeah, there's one or the other. That's how it's got to be, y'all.
Yeah, but it's
for someone in the healing phase, right?
For someone in the healing phase, you want to be strict, right? And the reason we like both of them is because our body is tuned to both of them, right? So that's why the flavors of those both taste good. And so when we're in our kitchen making things that we want to taste good, sometimes those flavors combined end up tasting good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back to it and let's look at the fats. Okay, what do you think though? What is it going to be?
Gosh, I would think it'd be maybe slightly higher, but like normal.
Slightly higher.
Like, yeah.
So, we got, so there's a narrative. You know, you want to be in these ranges.
Well, doesn't the graph just show the range?
Yeah. So triglycerides, 805.
So you want it under.
And I want it's supposed to be under 150 on a normal diet.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really high. So I know Dr. F will not be happy.
I know, that is crazy.
She wasn't happy when I did some of the keto vegan stuff because this was a little high. My HDL is a little bit low. That's the good cholesterol.
Yeah.
My LDL is really high, 776, and it's supposed to be under 200.
Jesus. Interesting. Well, that makes sense why.
My LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, is 301, and it's supposed to be under 100. Now, again, these ranges are not for the ketogenic or the Paleolithic ketogenic diet, the PKD. These ranges are for the standard American diet. So let's take a look at our graphs here. Notice anything different?
What? Oh,
Bing!
I know. So that is probably an indication of why your chloride levels were low. And that has to do with the kidneys and maybe this stuff.
So I need more chloride to help with the cholesterol?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to dig. I'm gonna dig into this.
But yeah, this is, you know, this is the LDL, I think, is the real interesting one, because even on a water fast, it was fairly good.
Mm-hmm.
And then just bam. So what's interesting to me though is the HDL is lower. The HDL went down while everything else went up, and I'm not sure why that. The good cholesterol went down. The quote good cholesterol went down.
Well, yeah, so it's flipping. So the bad one went up and the good one went down. So that makes sense. It's just opposite effect.
Is it that?
And well, it's opposite interpretation. So when you're on a normal whatever diet with carbs. So
okay,
I don't.
So that's one of the big ones.
Yeah.
The lipid panels.
Whoa, that's crazy.
C-reactive protein.
So that measures inflammation.
Right.
So where is it?
Oh, it's right here. 0.4, and we should be under 3.
Oh, so that's good.
It's really good.
Hey, look at that. Whoa, it was really high back in whatever, but it stayed pretty low. So that means that's good since January.
Yeah.
It's been low.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. I don't know what that one.
Yeah.
Sedimentation rate. I don't know what that is. So we're right in the middle of the range there, and this might be a PKD. Yeah, this is a PKD one. Okay. Thyroid stimulating hormone. We are in range.
In range, nice.
Oops, let me do the graph. And so, yeah, it's just kind of normal.
Yeah. So it's been in range this whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of in ranges.
Iron.
Good.
In range for the iron serum.
Good.
Totals in range. Saturation's in range. And the transferrin is in range. And the graphing. These are all PKD, so they're just single dots. All right. Oh, wait.
What
time is it?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You got a call?
I got a prep for a call soon, so.
Okay.
Okay, so where were we? Iron. Ferritin is a little
Ferritin's
bit
high.
high. I don't remember that one. I think that's PKD. No.
So ferritin has to do with iron.
So this is interesting. Went from very bottom of range to just out of range. Okay, fibrinogen assay is in range. PKD, single dot. Lactate dehydrogenase, LDH, in range. Single dot. Gamma glutamyl transferase, in range. Single dot, PKD. So what I'm interested in is, I wonder if all these single dots, if the PKD ranges match these ranges. You know what I mean? Because it could be when you're on a PKD diet, the ranges are different.
Okay. Got cards in my pocket. Got a little baseball guy.
Okay, the complete blood count. So we are just low in the white blood cell by a tenth of. We're in range on the red blood cell. We are top of range for hemoglobin whole blood, in range for hematocrit. Platelet is in range. MCV is in range. MCH is in range. MCHC is in range. RDW is in range. And the MPV is in range. So white blood. Oh, it's not white blood. So everything looks pretty flat here. Nothing crazy new for the new diet. Everything's pretty flat. This is a little bit on the lower end for MPV. This is a pretty big drop in the platelet. And this is the highest it's ever been for the red blood cell. You know what that means?
White blood cell or red?
Red, RBC. And this is actually also abnormal. This jump here, RDW. It's still in range, but it's a big jump. And the white blood cell has always been low. So it's still just low. Alrighty, moving right along here. Auto differential. I don't know what these are. Do you know what these are?
No.
So they're all in range, looks like. In range. We're a little low on the monocyte. And other than that, we're in really good shape. I don't remember these. Are these new? Yeah, these are all new. Okay, these are all PKD.
Oh, so those are ones that they requested you to measure.
Yeah, whenever I say those are PKD, that's the ones the Paleomedicina requested specifically.
Cool. And then you're forwarding this to them.
Yeah, as soon as they're all in, so not all of them are in yet.
Okay.
Okay, and this is the last one, guys. This is the last one for that we have right now. And this is the microalbumin. And so we're under 7, which is in range. And there's no reference on the creatinine. So, yep. High,
so was it high before?
low, but it's in range. So, yeah. All right, guys.
Ooh, all right, that was fun.
Yeah, so that was that's the first reveal. So what were your takeaways?
Takeaways is the pancreas is getting enough rest for the beta cells to regenerate. And if we give it long enough time to keep building up that regeneration process, your pancreas will be at full strength. And then we can start tampering around with the reintroduction of things. With that, we just need to do a little extra research on the triglycerides and the whole lipid panel, because it's, from my understanding, especially when I, would read through Dave Asprey's blog and people that are all about keto and whatnot, they're just like, throw out the triglyceride like measurements because it doesn't apply to keto, like high fat type stuff. So I don't have concerns about that, but I do want to understand it. So that's what I need to figure out. And so we can help have that discussion with our doctor, because she's not going to understand that for sure. So
yeah, and she's going to be concerned.
Yeah.
Like that, numbers like that would be, you need to stop what you're doing concerned.
Yeah.
Like those are really.
But I'm curious
high.
what she's going to say with that, but then the PC peptides being improved. Because the first time it improved, her eyes were like, bing, like, what? Like, this isn't supposed to happen. So back in May, his C-peptides improved, and that was on the whole food plant-based. And she was just like shocked, like you could see it in her face. And then this PKD has that same jump. And so if we can keep that incline, then I think we're gonna be onto something here. So yeah, good job, babe. Woo!
All right.
I say it's a good report.
It is a good report.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. And so I'm excited to see the autoimmune antibody stuff when that comes in. So we're like 2 days in. So these are all the fast results, and so we'll get the rest of the results will come in probably a week or so. So I'll probably do only one more video on these. Maybe I'll just put them as they come into my daily vlog.
Yeah.
Probably just do that.
Yeah.
All right, so you are excused. You may leave and attend to our child.
I have a hungry child. All right, see you guys.
Thank you, appreciate it. All right, guys, and I need to wrap up too because I got to get on with some other stuff in my day. So, but I do need to do my daily log stuff. Hey, Billy, it's whisper. All right, so we're gonna do our experiments. So yesterday, I also need to state the date. I should have done that in the very beginning. Today is Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. Okay, and so yesterday I did my numbers at the end of the night, at the end of the day, very end of the day. So most of these are already filled in. And I actually went through and filled out the rest of these right now. But basically, I did get to bed before 9. My energy was pretty good in the evening. I am fairly slow. I'm gonna give myself a 7 because I feel okay right now. But yeah, woke up this morning. I was low energy. I actually turned my alarm off to sleep in, which has not been normal. And it's interesting with that is I've had feelings of I think you're a guilt around productivity, right, for work. And it's like, if I'm tired, I'm not gonna get all my stuff done. I have all these obligations. But then, these are my thoughts as I'm like half asleep, and then I was like, no, like I need to flip it around. I need to change my mindset on it. Like, sleep is restoration. I'm praying that my body gets restored. right? So I should be welcoming and encouraging and hoping for the opportunity to sleep, right? The opportunity to be healed. And so the fatigue and all that stuff is that opportunity that I'm being given. And in addition to that, I have the opportunity with a fairly flexible schedule to be able to do that. So that mindset was very helpful. And that's how I'm viewing these things. I'm not going to shy away. I'm not going to try to avoid them. I'm going to lean into them. If I have them, a strong enough feeling, I'm going to lean into it and just let my body recover. So anyway, that's how this morning went. And also I just stepped on the scale, even though it's been broken for a few days, and it worked. I don't know why. So I was able to get my weight, and I broke another record here. As an adult, I weigh 139 pounds with my phone in my pocket, which probably adds another pound. That was really interesting to me. End of the day yesterday, I did, I did my stretching, of course, really enjoying those. Only got afternoon sun. It was overcast again today, so I did not get my morning sunrise. So I'll have to do afternoon sun again. Added my stress here. Let's see, I did get my silvers in yesterday. And I'm trying to think of anything else I didn't put in yesterday's report. I think that was it. I think I did add, a little bit of knee pain yesterday, but other than that, nothing. All right, so yeah, that's it for the daily log. I'm gonna fill this in tomorrow. You'll see me go through these and fill this in. And that's my report. So I'm feeling a little bit tireder today. Shh, whisper back. We're a little bit tireder today. Part of that I think is probably a little stress from work, because that's going into that. And so it's all about mindset, I think, to adjust that, because everything's fine. It's just mindset. All right, so that's it, guys. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up. So leave comments if you have them. And the reason I'm really encouraging everyone to leave comments is because we are all in this together. Okay, so more minds are better than one. We want to find a cure for type 1 diabetes. So it is no longer a life sentence. Okay, so working together, asking the right questions of each other, holding each other accountable. And even if you just have a question on how something works that I'm explaining, I'd be happy to explain it to you and spread that knowledge throughout our community. So if you don't want to miss out on my journey of how I find a cure for type 1 diabetes, subscribe, and so you never miss out. And then hit the bell icon if you want your notifications. I personally don't like notifications. I have all my notifications off on my phone, except for text messaging and phone calls. But if you are a fan of notifications to know, just go ahead and hit the bell. And that is it, guys. I'm going to sign out. Goodbye, and have